So, what do you want to talk about? Glory, and then we'll shut it off.
Glory, it's coming
I'm
up.
off, man. I'm off again.
Going back.
So it's a little bit different. The world of sports has changed. So I'm used to being live at the events. This show here, I'm actually calling it from a studio in New Jersey. Americans can't go over to Europe yet, so Todd Grisham, my boss, and the whole production crew, we're meeting in New Jersey to call these fights. This will be a new experience for me. I mean, calling Badr live is just something spectacular. Now I get to call it from a TV.
You always got to be security if you're calling Badr live. You never know what the heck's going to happen.
Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I mean, regardless of not being there live, just to be back in action, to be in front of a studio, to be talking live on camera, to get that feeling again. I haven't called fights since February, and it's like, I miss it, man. I really, really genuinely love calling fights. I love being ringside. I just love fight week of getting to talk to the guys, the coaches, the atmosphere. I just love everything about Glory in combat sports. So to be in it, it's going to be a little different. Like now doing fighter interviews over Zoom calls. Like I hate Zoom, guys, by the way.
It's the worst.
I can't do the Zoom calls. That's why when you were like, oh, just call me. I was like, no, I don't want Zoom podcast garbage. Like I hate it.
I hate all these virtual. You know what's fun? They're like, oh, just do a virtual Zoom happy hour. I'm like, guys, are you serious? It's embarrassing. Let's talk about Zoom happy hours, guys. What kind of foolishness is that?
You have to buy a drink.
I'm gonna have a drink. Hey, I pretend I'm having fun in front of a stupid computer screen. Nobody knows when to talk because it's so awkward.
It's
They're just like, hey, look at us. We're pretending to have fun. No, man, I'm going to have my drink. I'm going to sit in front of the TV and I'm going to do what I want. If you want to come see me, come see me. Stand apart, wear a mask, do whatever you want, or see me later. Yeah. But I don't want to sit there, Zoom happy hour and pretend it's amazing. It's good for like meetings and stuff. You can't, but listen, man, if you want to chill, you want to chill.
You're in technology world. You should be all about Zooms.
No, man. Like they're fine. Like I said, they're fine for work, but like I'm not doing no Zoom happy hour. It does not replace human interaction. It's ridiculous, and when people say it,
but replace human interaction, Costa, you get called when people. You get upset when people call you.
Well, not for me. I don't care about talking to people.
Danny, do me a favor. If you ever want to get cold to Costa, do not call him.
No, text me.
Do not.
Who calls?
Don't you dare call Costa.
No one calls though.
That's like
if you call Costa,
no one calls.
Yeah, when Joe, I'm like,
I called him the other day.
Are you kidding?
You called him?
I called him because I just got off a phone call with him. We're on a sponsorship call, and I got off and I called him. He didn't answer.
No, man, because I'm like, I'm not ready for that. Like,
he needs a little time to process.
Because it's never good news when people call. Like the last time Joe called me was after Derek passed away, and I'm like,
exactly.
No, like you guys can leave a message so I can mentally prepare for what's about to happen here, and then, or just text me. Like, why can't you just text?
Yeah.
And then also
then you got to call back.
Then you got to call and you got to get into the play. Hey, how's it going? Blah blah. I'm a guy. Just tell me what I need to know. Like, come on.
I agree with that.
Tell me what I need to know.
I'm the same way.
And I'll answer you when I get a chance.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Some of your predictions for that Badr Benjamin Adekboye fight?
It depends what Badr comes to the fight. You never know. If it's peak Badr and he's been training, like no one can stop him if he keeps his head on right. I'm a big Badr fan from back in the day.
Big time, me too.
You know, me up with an autograph, Joe?
I can't ask Badr for an autograph.
Tell him it's from me.
I'm not even there. I'm going to Zoom during the Zoom call?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting you're not there. I'm from my collection. I don't know. I collect these things.
So, Costa, so the big story he still talks about, we went to a UFC years ago.
Oh.
And there was no one in line to get and they used to have my rant. Watch the last podcast on how much I hate this, how the guys aren't getting this real UFC experience. It's hiding in a hotel room. You don't get it's terrible right now.
Yeah.
So we used to go to these events before I think it was even fighting with Glory. Just signed with Glory, I think, at the time. And there it is. You can go get autographs from all these UFC guys, and there sitting John Jones.
Anderson
no one in
Silva
line.
versus Taos Lates was the event.
No one was even
Before
in
he was
line.
Big.
Just as on the peak.
He was just coming up. He was coming up. He was nobody yet.
Okay.
And they're like, Joe, let's go in line and get that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going to wait in line to ask someone for an autograph? Are you crazy? So I didn't let them get the autograph.
Yeah, and then to this day, I'm like,
now,
and then
I still wouldn't want it, though.
The funny thing,
really?
Hey, and then we met.
It would be cool to have it.
Well, we hung out with him at the Arnold at like 1:30 in the morning.
Late there,
Yeah, late. He wasn't. he wasn't in a talkative mood.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm telling you. So
Joe almost
crazy.
got bowled over by Mark Henry there.
Yeah.
He pissed him off.
I
You know
heard
Mark
about that.
Henry?
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Henry.
You took a picture.
Do
with him, but he
not
was
touch
happy.
Mark Henry.
So
Yeah.
Mark Henry.
Two things. Do not call Costa and don't touch Mark Henry. Those are the two things I highly recommend.
Mark Henry. I'm like, Joe, go get a picture because huge.
Yeah,
WWE
again, I
guy.
don't like asking people for pictures.
Strongest man.
I hate
I'm
asking
like,
for
Joe,
pictures.
for the
He
Instagram.
had to ask.
I'm like, Joe, for the Instagram, go. I'm like, it's for clout, He's
Yeah.
like, come on, man, just go. And then he's like, okay, Mark, can you take a picture? I said, yeah, whatever. So he was talking to some girl there or something. Whatever. And then Joe's like, yeah. So Joe puts his arm around like this, and the guy's like, bro, do you have to touch me?
Yeah, he called me out. I was like, oh. Then this whole picture, I'm just like,
And I'm crying.
so
laughing.
miserable.
And I'm laughing.
I think I smiled in it, but
pretty good.
I'll try to send it, Danny. If you can put it up on here after,
Yeah,
I'll
and then
try
we
to
were
send it. I
talking-
might still have it.
So Joe talks to
Space
Anthony,
between us now for the picture.
Yeah, Santino from WWE. So we're friends with him, and Joe was telling him the story, and Santino's like, yeah, man, he does not like being
not
touched
like
in
to
the
be
back
touched.
because what people do is with big guys, they always slap him on the back, right? And it's
He
really
doesn't
annoying.
like it.
He was not a fan, and Mark Henry tells you don't touch him. I don't care. I don't care if you're Joe Valtellini. Mark
He's a
Henry
big
does.
dude.
Yeah.
He's
Mark Henry
big
throws a
dude.
shot. I'm going out.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big
I'm
dude.
out if he hits me one of those
So
big
yeah,
shots.
that was our John Jones.
So you guys think Badr gets it done?
I don't know if he can keep himself from being disqualified.
I just don't see how Benny can win
Benny can't win if
I
you're
think if
facing
he
Badr.
sticks to his jab, his movement,
for 3 rounds.
the big thing is, can he stop those moments of Badr? Badr fights in moments. Badr will sit, defend. When it's time to attack, like I said, he tries to kill you every time he throws his combinations. His combinations aren't to score; they're to knock you out. So if Adekboue can handle those in the first round, and he can kind of stick and move and stay defensive, but we've seen Adekboue get stuck in the corner against Jamal Ben Sadiq and get knocked out.
Yeah.
So,
It's just tough because you look at Rico, and Rico couldn't. Rico gave it his all.
but the
And
problem is when you see
Rico's a
Rico
bad
fight,
style.
but
Rico's
Rico
a bad
sits in the
style.
pocket with a high guard shell. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Where Adekboue uses his jab a little bit more, keeps at range, so that could be.
And
an
I'll tell you
option.
straight, and I'll
Right.
never say this to his face, but I'm not impressed with Rico's fighting style. I think he's too conservative. He wins
course.
fights, but you know what? He's not. He's got the look. He's got He's a good fighter, but I think I just don't. He bores me, so that's why I always want to see guys come up again. I'll never say it to his face; he'll kill me. But I want to see, I want to see guys up there exciting, banging. That heavyweight division needs that. Badr's excited.
But the problem is, look at Badr's record. I mean, I'm going to defend Rico here for a little bit. Badr lives or dies by the KO.
sick.
Live or die by the KO.
Yeah.
But how do you become a 15-time world champion? Through consistently winning the fights in the most dominant way possible. So Rico will pick you apart, smash your legs till there's no more, and then he finishes you in the 4th round. Like his fight with Jamal Ben Sadiq was one of the most fight of the years. It was incredible.
Rico's size helps us.
You know, like-
I would have liked to see Saki go against him
I
again.
think Rico is just, he lacks that Badr one moment shot, but like he'll consistently pound you until you can no longer take anymore. And that's why he's been unbeaten for so long. He's not going to take stupid risks. He's
yeah.
going to systematically smash you. Where Badr is like, okay, I don't care if you hit this and almost got, but when I attack you, if you can withstand that. So he's kind of live or die by the KO, where Rico is that more, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to outplay you, I'm going to outpick you apart, I'm going to damage you
And
slowly.
it works for Rico. Rico's tough as hell.
Big
Like
time.
Jamal's
No
been
one's
hitting
saying he's
him.
not tough, but that's why
Like-
Badr is such a he transcends kickboxing because he's so exciting. He's such a
Yeah.
character. He sells.
I
he sells
said
fights.
it in the last podcast. He has that Conor McGregor to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to sell fights much just because it's his personality. The man came into K1 when he was 18 years old. He's 35, 36 now, and he's still known as the most lethal man on the planet. We still are so shocked. We'll ask everyone in Glory from the past 10 years, who do they think is the best fighter in the world? Badr Hari. I'm like, but they're like, Badr hasn't fought in 5 years. Badr Hari. Who's the one person you would not want to fight? Badr Hari.
Yeah.
These are heavyweights currently active in the Glory roster. They all just, that man's created a image. He's created a brand. He's created
Selling
an
himself.
army behind him. That's just,
He could have
did
done
it
more.
right.
He could. I think he went off the deep end a little too much.
But that's kind of what created who he was,
Yeah.
is getting into those situations and then coming back. He's just, it's incredible to see. He was the one man, like he's keeping kickboxing alive right now. So I
He's
mean,
probably the most important figure of modern kickboxing.
even in the old school, man. Like,
Yeah, even in old school.
come
yeah.
on, like this is crazy to say, like how much he's done.
I miss the good days with Peter Aerts, Sammy Schilt, even Krokop.
Stand and trade.
Big days.
Oh, yeah,
Mark
Mark
Hunt,
So those guys just go
Mighty
in
Mo,
K1
Ray
Grand Prix.
Cepho.
Oh, I used to remember staying up
Andy
on
Hoog.
for the New Year's cards and watch them till like 6 in the morning. Maybe because I was more into it back then and kind of life hit me in the face and you got to do different things. But that was awesome. It's everything's better back in the day. I'm sure the people who are fans today will look back in 5 years and say, yeah, that was better back in the day, right?
Even the co-main event's pretty good too. It was supposed to be one I was really excited for was Cedric Doumbé. He was taking on Myrtle Grunhart. And Grunhart sustained an injury, so now they got my former opponent, Kareem Gaji, fought Kareem Gaji, Glory 11, and now he's fighting for a world title against Doumbé.
What do you think his odds
They
are?
missed an opportunity here. They should have just flew Joe over, said, okay, Joe's commentating, ringside today.
Yeah. Here's $1 million bucks.
Under his suit, or the match, they're like, Myrtle's out with injury, but we have a replacement. Joe rips off his shirt. The fights are underneath.
Old school music comes.
I come out from under the ring.
Well, the funny thing about Joe and Cedric is that every single time Doumbé comes in to do BTS, I know the Glory Crew loves to pick on you with this. They're like, do you think you could beat Joe?
Yeah, they
always challenge Doumbé and Joe, and it's so awkward because
course.
you don't want to
But
I'll call it out right now.
You don't want to beef.
I'll call it out right now. I text Joe every time.
I'll tell you right
the welters
now.
are fighting. No one comes close to the guys back in a few years ago. That division, the guys are sloppy. I think Joe would have beat Adesanya. I think Joe would have beat all these guys. I'm sorry, Adesanya, I was not impressed with, and Joe doesn't have to say it. This is my opinion. Adesanya, I was not impressed with his performance in Glory. He was okay, but his success in UFC just made me think, I'm like, oh my God, Joe would have just cleaned up. I think he was sloppy. I think he takes too many chances. He's not technical.
You're talking this is Adesanya?
Adesanya. I know you liked him. You'd say he was good, but
still like him,
yeah,
yeah.
you still like him. But when I saw him in LA, I'm like, he's fine. Like,
But I don't think that was his best fight to show how good he was. Because you got to think, it's a small ring. He was fighting Jason Wilness, who's known for pressure and always in your face. Like, an Adesanya needs to, move and evade punches, counter shot, keep his range, keep his hands low. I mean, I think that's what makes him dangerous. You look at it, for those who are masters of martial arts, watch Alex Pereira, the middleweight champion, and he's the light heavyweight champion. If you watch his pad work, his shadow boxing, you can pick out a lot of technical things. You're like, his hands are low, his kick isn't turning over, his head is wide open when he's throwing it, but try to hit him. He's the most powerful man, and you'll be like, there's no power. Look where his hands are. He's square, but why is he the most? It's something that when he's in the ring, they have that ability.